Hello and welcome to the Select Board meeting for March 28th, 2023. I'd like to call this meeting to order.
I can't.
We have the full board present, town manager, town clerk. Let us stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First, we have the approval of our meeting minutes from March 21st, 2023.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second it?
Any further discussion?
Yeah, just a note, the footer was wrong. It said March, or it said February something, but the signed copy says March 21st.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see it. All right. So, all in favor with the
amendment.
corrections? All those in favor? And Mark was not here. All right. First, we have public comment. There's no public to comment.
Anybody online?
Anybody?
No, nobody's online.
No?
Any member of the board want to act as the public? Anybody? Good. I will close the first public comment. We have no public hearings. We have no reports of committees. We have no department reports. We have an appointment of Sherry Clement for the Recreation Commission as an alternate for a 1-year term.
We're guessing you are.
Here comes the guy.
Please.
Podium,
Walk in the
please.
door and get your name read off. Look at
Sorry, I'm late.
No,
Not a
No,
problem.
you're right on
Please
time.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Sherry Clement. I own Primal Fit across the street at the Edge, and I'm interested in being an alternate member of the Recreation Commission. I'm interested in helping the community become, more engaged and active and well. So that's why.
Terrific. I've seen your work on Facebook. Looks like a fun place. Looks like an active place. A lot of people go in there early in the morning when I'm trying to sleep.
Yep. That's my biggest class is 5:15. They're crazy.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I was like, 5 o'clock. It's a bit early for me. Terrific. So we have a full commission right now. This is an alternate member. So if somebody leaves, then you bump up to regular member, but you still get to participate in active discussion, stuff like that. Does anybody have any questions for Sherry?
Are you a resident of Berwick?
I'm a resident of North Berwick.
Of North Berwick.
Lifetime resident of North Berwick.
Oh, Northborough.
Noble alum, all that good stuff.
Have you done any work with government recreation activities before?
I have not.
So this is a new foray for you?
It is.
Perfect. Do you have any kids in the rec programs at all?
I do not. I only have an adult child, and so, but I have, we helped coach basketball and soccer when she was younger. So, and for my niece, who's 4.5, I help coach basketball for her as well. So I'm active, but no, have never done anything like a rec department before.
Oh, we appreciate you willing to volunteer your time. Not a lot of people do that anymore.
Yeah,
So to be involved and engaged is, for the community, is appreciated.
absolutely. Thank you. I really would like to see more engagement throughout the community in wellness programs and of all ages. I have a specific passion about seniors, and if you've seen anything that I'm doing at the gym, a lot of it is around seniors and,
I was going to ask you that because we hear about a lot of stuff for kids and regular people going out to the gym. So you have specific programs that target.
I do. I have a
So-
Legends class. We have 2 classes. It's 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's specifically for low impact, limited mobility, 65 and over. And it's an hour-long class. I had one. I just recently put on a second class because it's so popular. So that's been great.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
No, I think that's something Linda and I talk about a lot up here, but I've talked
Yeah.
about with Josh is, I think it's easy to assume recreation is just kids' youth sports, and it really ties into everything, and especially with a community that is, yes, it's young and growing, and I have young kids that are in the program, but also on the other side of that, we have many seniors in town. We talk about Berwick for a Lifetime at the library and how that ties into rec, and I
right.
think that that's just something else that goes right into it. And
Yeah.
again, thank you for wanting to be a part of it, because we
Thank
do
you.
need more.
If I can add one more thing, the other thing I'd love to see is I've been a caregiver for 10 years for my father, and I think that's another thing that a lot of people in the community are doing. Middle-aged, taking on elderly parents or seniors, or even your spouse as a caregiving role. And I think there's a lot we can do to really help them with their, the social aspect of wellness, emotional aspect of wellness. So those are some of the things that I'm passionate about primarily.
I have a question more for the town manager and the clerk. Do we have a policy about residents in commissions and committees?
James just looked up the rec commission policy.
I know, we have appointed committee. There's different degrees of boards. So in Vision Berwick, we don't have anything like that. I know with select board and planning board, but it's in the bylaws.
Right. I don't think there's anything
Yeah,
in the rec.
I'm double checking the rec commission ordinance right now. I don't see anything about residents.
No, I don't have a problem with you being
I
serving.
understand.
Anybody that wants to volunteer, I'm more than welcome to bring them
anybody's
in.
willing
The hell
to
with
step
it.
up.
No, but I don't want to just make sure, if it's a policy we have to
I
change.
just wonder if maybe you want to have Josh's opinion on it first. Maybe table it
Did
until
Josh,
the next
did Josh
meeting.
recommend her to come?
No, he wasn't aware of this.
Okay.
No.
So it typically would go through the department head. We would get a letter of intent,
Yeah.
and for some reason that didn't happen. Not your fault
Yeah,
at all,
okay,
Sherry.
yeah.
But maybe we should ask Josh his feelings on a non-resident sitting on the commission.
But she's a business in town.
I was just going to ask
Yes.
that could be
Yes.
considered.
I
That
think
I'm
that's
a,
And I was going to say,
Yeah,
especially
well,
where.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I just want to make sure we don't cross any policy.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, this
No,
is
no,
a
I-
policy.
And if we
I can't
have a
imagine-
policy, maybe we should look
Change
at
it.
amending it.
If there is no policy violation, I can't imagine that Josh is going to have an issue with anyone trying to volunteer to help. But you're right, it should go through him.
I'll make a motion that we table this then for now.
Yeah, just so that we get clarity, because we don't want to violate anything, and if we have to, we can change it, but
Is that a second?
that's a second. So please don't read into it other than procedural.
I understand.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
absolutely
Anybody
understand.
that wants to volunteer,
We
come on
encourage-
down.
We encourage that, but we can't violate our own policy, so let's just get clarity on
And
it.
I think otherwise, unless we have further questions, you wouldn't have to come back to answer any.
Okay.
We can make a vote as soon as we just have clarity on the rules.
Okay, excellent.
You're
all
welcome
those
to
in
come back
favor
anytime
of,
you'd like, but you
Yeah.
don't necessarily, we just need to
Yeah,
get
we
a
don't
yes
need
or
we
no.
don't need to do another question and answer. I think it'd be great to have you. All in favor of tabling this until we get clarity? All right. So we will discuss this as soon as we get clarity on it, and
Keep me
I-
posted.
hopefully in a couple
I'll
of
email
weeks.
you.
I envision that we'll see you again shortly as as a member, unless we find something otherwise. So,
Okay, great.
but
Thank
we really
you.
appreciate it. So
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good evening.
Yep, thank you.
No, so no 5:15 workout for you?
No, if I could do it. That is the struggle of my life, let me tell you. All right. We have no unfinished business. Town manager's report.
I have to report there's an exciting development with a new group in town with actual new people on a new committee for once rather than recycling the same people. And with this group, SMPDC is assisting. This is part of the community resilience project and the declaration that the board signed at last meeting. And with this project comes some funding, so $50,000 will be awarded to tackle a few different projects and different initiatives. One of the projects is a community garden that the group has in mind. But it can go to a bunch of different projects. I can go to funding parks and anything in with that community resilience umbrella. SMPDC is helping with that grant, and they're also going to be helping with grant assistance to develop an open space plan. This plan will help identify properties to preserve, and this plan will be part of considerations during subdivision developments. For example, developers will have to pay attention to this open space plan, which in a lot of ways will take form of a map. So as they develop lots, this will help us to preserve strategic pieces of property, high-value natural resources, plants, species, wetlands, and large blocks of land that are contiguous. And there's a theme here. There's a cleanup day that's being planned to kick off on Earth Day and will extend for a week. Met with Envision Berwick and the Rec Department and a local business and another volunteer to organize this. So there will be some competition and prizes and the events coming together. So it seems like it'll be a fun, productive event. That's all I have for this evening.
Terrific. Any questions for the town manager?
Nope.
The Berwick Cleanup Day has been a very good success, a very good project for us the past couple of years. My wife is always excited to try to go outside and collect garbage. And we always see people out there participating, and we hope to see more participation. I mean, whether it's just cleaning up your neighborhood, cleaning up the road that you live on, or making it a competition to win prizes and really going all out. So it's a great program. We have no select board communications. Approval of the accounts payable and payroll warrants. We have just two this week. We have payroll warrant number 66 from March 30th, 2023. And that is in the amount of $76,002.65. And we have an accounts payable warrant number 67 from March 28th, 2023 in the amount of $85,931.73. I make the motion that we pay our bills.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Terrific. The new business. First, we have write-off requests.
First one is a personal property write-off request and also a water account request. So the personal property is a total of $3,560.74. This is Belanger Paving, who went out of business and did not report it to the assessors, so that's why they were charged. At this point, the recommendation is to write off this expense for the personal property account.
So to be clear, they ceased business operations in 2022, and they did not inform the assessor that that's the case. So they were continued to be charged in absentia, essentially. Okay.
And just along with that, you had the one you said with the water. I'm trying to figure out what the water bill was because there's no water up on Sincarta Lane.
That's funny. It actually says unmetered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back from
It was-
2020.
must have been for a job he was doing
Yeah.
someplace, and he tapped into the
Yeah.
hydrant. Was
Yeah.
that probably it then? Okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
If you can see, there's kind of a regularly billed, and that would be indicative of an example like that.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to write off the account to Belanger Payment that was on the books erroneously.
I'll second the motion.
Any further discussion?
Does that motion carry for both that and the water, or do you need a second?
Yes. That was my intent.
Yes. So that is for both the personal property and the water bill. All those in favor?
You know, if I didn't ask, Patty was going to ask.
Yeah, probably. All right. So the next is the summer camp.
The total request is for $13,981. There's a good amount here that was DHHS, and there's some issues with paperwork, and then there's a variety of other payments that have not come through. So at this point, the recommendation is to write off these uncollectible amounts.
So these are considered uncollectible. Like there's nothing further to do.
Uncollectible, and it would cost more to, I think, to go out. And it's not like a business. It's people would be going after, right?
Yeah.
So, and then the legal expense to go after it becomes more than the amount we can recover.
Mark brought up an interesting question. If we write off these accounts, can the families that paid nothing toward this, get back into summer camp again and do this again, or do they still have an outstanding balance that they would have to address before they could enroll their kids in summer camp again?
I think so. With some of these families, it was an issue with DHHS funding, and I think
Yes.
that's a different scenario than if there was someone that there wasn't a reason why that there wasn't a payment, they would have a note on their account.
Okay.
So they would have to pay it back if they wanted to re-enroll another child.
I don't know how that exactly works.
It's probably just as well, the kids are probably better off coming to rec.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if we write off. I mean,
I would
We-
almost say make sure that money's in full this year. Put some contingency plan in. Right, we talk about building the community and building rec, and
Right.
and part of me, as much as yes, it's money owed, don't want to penalize the kids at this point.
No, you
know.
don't.
You don't want as a kid,
No.
but the parents' actions
to
could
have
be,
some-
I'll keep doing this every year.
Correct,
And
I think
also
there's
we
something.
hire people for summer camp. We expend money to send kids to do stuff. We buy a lot of supplies specifically for summer camp.
Correct.
So that's my concern. I mean, if we
I think it's a good concern, but I think it's the only one that's going to hurt is the kid, and I don't think that's good.
I mean, I think there should be some contingency to make sure that it's
No, yeah.
paid up for this year. But I mean, again, it's up to Josh, right?
And
I
again-
mean, ultimately, it's going to be his.
yeah, and I mean legitimately, the only 4 accounts didn't pay anything. So I mean, I just want to make sure that we're we're considering the situation. I mean, like that's just it's been discussed.
And I think the other part is just making sure that if there is DHHS payments in there, that we make sure it's someone at Rex following through with it this summer, because it looks like some of this is really,
Paperwork related.
administrative.
And I mean,
plus
I can understand that, especially last summer was a pretty
some change.
some very hectic
yes.
situations going on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have people in here complaining about there being trash in the field. We have the rec director out picking up trash at night, and then they got to go home and do paperwork for DHS, and something's going to fall through the cracks somewhere.
Correct.
So. Having discussed it, does anybody want to enter in a motion?
I'll make a motion to waive the payments for summer camp 2022 and have that written off.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? All right. The next is the approval of the Teamsters Union fire contract.
As you remember, the Teamsters Fire Unit was split off from the General Unit, and the General Unit was approved in December. And there is no real hang-up or disagreement with this contract to get to this point. We had a general consensus in January. It just took some time to get the contract formatted and just for the union, the mediator, and our legal to review it and correct any typos or omissions.
And then get them to vote on it.
Yep.
You got a copy of the email. Any questions about the fire union contract?
I'll make a motion that we approve the Teamsters Fire Union contract as presented to us.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? All right. We have certified ratio declarations on here. I've been told that The current version might have some typos that need to be corrected before we can approve it. And the assessor will be here next meeting to present it. So at this time, I've moved that we table that discussion until the next meeting.
All right, second it.
All those in favor?
But, so, our ratio, our mill rate's not gonna include the school yet, right?
This is different than the mill rate.
That's the current mill rate.
1822, with the school?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We have no quitclaim deeds, no abatements, no public for a second comment, no executive session. Is there any other business, non-agenda items?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I would like to say really quick before we do that, just as a reminder, there's an election in June. You can we have open seats for school board and 2 open seats for select board, and you can still take out papers for that. They need to be back in by April 24th,
11.
April 11th. April 11th. So there's still time to get those things done. Our next meeting is, what is it?
On the
11.
It's on the 11th. So by the next time we're around, it'll already be too late. Okay? So end of business day by the 11th. Those papers need to be in. So if you're interested, please see the town clerk. And yeah, there's a motion to adjourn. I will second that motion. All those in favor? Good night.